I just made me some taters. Dude, I love that feeling of eating mashed potatoes. Like before, like when you're starting to salivate as you're making it, during and after that feeling, it leaves you. It doesn't feel you too down. Like mashed potatoes are as good as it gets. Anyway, I'm going to do a Q&A. I have a lot of questions I need to answer because I simply have not been posting that many videos. I've been super busy with work, with trying to do things for myself, like just busy with life basically. No fancy smancy camera today. I'm just on my MacBook here. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be with the lighting. It's actually nighttime outside and I have like a small little lamp on the corner of my room. So hopefully this turns out well. But going to read a bunch of my questions that have been building up. But yeah, let's get right into it. The first question is, so what does my personal diet look like? So I get that question often, and my diet is super simple. I'm a big promoter of a whole food plant-based diet, so I like to eat very simple foods like potatoes, like I just showed you guys, rice and beans. Sometimes I'll take tortillas and make like little tacos and put a little guacamole with my rice and beans. Sometimes pasta with like broccoli and other vegetables and marinara sauce. I've been trying to eat even more whole foods, so like trying to avoid the pasta and the bread sometimes, even though I wouldn't say necessarily that those are unhealthy foods, but me personally, I'm just trying to lose a little bit of weight. Not that I'm overweight or anything like that, but I'm just trying to, basically, I'm just trying to focus on caloric density. That's just what I'm personally trying to experiment with. I'm trying to get a little bit more cut, so I'm trying to see if that is going to have any different a different effect on me as opposed to like let's say me focusing on brown rice and beans over the pasta. So that's what I'm personally trying to do right now. But yeah, and also fruits. I'll eat whole fruits. Like I'll slice up some apples. I'll eat bananas on the go. I'll throw them in smoothies. Oatmeal. I'll do oatmeal sometimes with some frozen strawberries, blueberries. Slice up some bananas. What else do I eat? It's very, very simple. Like I said, nothing fancy here. The easier for me it is to cook it, the better. And it's going to be healthier. So that is what my personal diet currently looks like. Next question is, what do I think about eating unlimited calories? And that is a question I get very often as well. Okay, look, theoretically, right, if you break it down, mathematically, if the more calories you eat, the bigger, the more weight, the more fat you're going to store. Theoretically, right? If you look at thermodynamics, that's what it tells you. Realistically, I don't believe it's true necessarily. And the reason I say that is, look, if you focus on eating a whole food, plant-based diet, healthy foods, right? I think your body is going to stop wanting food at the point where you're not going to overeat. I mean, you can stuff yourself beyond satiation on purpose. You can like literally force feed yourself, and yeah, you'll probably gain weight. But see, that's what I'm trying to do right now with like the caloric density thing. So eating whole fruits, eating whole vegetables, eating whole grains. So trying to avoid the pasta and the bread. Not that it's unhealthy and that you can't eat it. That's not what I'm saying. Just me personally trying to do a lower calorically dense diet. So yeah, doing the whole grains, and then the whole legumes, the beans, those types of things. So I think once you focus on eating healthy food, I think you don't really need to count calories. You can eat basically until you're full, and you're not going to have to cut back on calories or any sort of thing like that. I think it's better to go for a lower calorically dense diet, not to the point where you're just eating vegetables and not including any whole grains and things like that. But I think the more whole you get with your foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, that's all you need to focus on. That's it. So yeah, I don't think you need to worry about counting calories. Theoretically, yeah, the more calories you eat, the more weight you're going to store, right? But realistically, if you're focusing on a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet, you don't need to worry about calories. You need to worry about eating enough more than you need to worry about cutting down. I think that's a bigger issue. So this person broke their bicycle. They had an accident and they're looking for some advice for a new bike. They're interested in the Allez Sprint frame or the Tarmac SL4 frame. So basically those two bikes back there. They're wondering whether they should go for the Allez frame, that's the gold one, which is a aluminum, and to put on those carbon wheels, or if they should go for the carbon bike in the back with cheaper wheels. And they do some climbing, so I'm thinking they probably want a relatively light setup. So which one would I recommend out of those two bikes? So if you're gonna go for any of those two and you're on a budget, you want to save as much money as possible, Allez hands down. These two bikes, there's not a whole lot of difference between them besides the price point. When I first bought my Tarmac, I wanted the best because this is a sport that I really love. So I wanted the best, in my opinion, and that was the S-Works Tarmac. I got the Allez because I wanted something that I could race in, that wouldn't, if I ever crashed, that wouldn't just trash my really nice bike. Not saying that this bike is bad, but yeah, you save so much money. The frame is 1/4 the price of the Tarmac. You can spend that money on some wheels and you can still have money left over to put on a group set, get yourself a saddle, a stem, some bars, you're good to go. So that's why I would recommend the Allez over the Tarmac. And it's still a pretty light bike. You think of aluminum being heavier than carbon. This is not that much heavier. And the fact that it uses a carbon fork and a carbon seat post, it cuts the weight down so much. You can run a carbon stem after that. Carbon bars, I generally wouldn't recommend. You can do it if you want, but I just have aluminum bars. They are a bit stronger, and they can take an impact a little bit better than carbon. So yeah, you're just better off going with the Allez. It's a great bike. The way they've welded all the different tubes, it's a very stiff bike as well. The only thing is the Tarmac is a little bit more comfortable because you're not really comparing apples to apples. This geometry is a little bit different than the Tarmac, so it's going to sit a little lower and a little closer, okay? So it's going to be lower. That's the thing you have to think about, because it is a criterium bike, so it's meant for shorter, faster races as opposed to longer distances. I've personally gotten used to it. I have no problem riding it. That's just something for you to consider. But if you were to go between the Tarmac and the Allez, you're on a budget, you want a really nice bike, go for the Allez, because you can put that money down to components that are really, really going to give you a better ride. So someone else says that I've gone away from the Specialized Power Saddle in favor of a Prologo. And they're asking why that is. So look, I used to run the Specialized Power Saddle. Now for both of these bikes, I run Prologo saddles. They're both the Scratch. I did have a Nago. So I switch saddles here and there. I'm still experimenting, trying to find the perfect saddle. I'm liking the Scratch, but I'm thinking of experimenting more. So the saddle's a really personal thing. I can't really recommend a saddle for you because what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. We have different butts, all right? There's so many different butts out there. You just have to find the one that best suits you. So I can't really recommend a saddle. Prologo makes a good saddle. Specialized makes a lot of good saddles. You know, there's a lot of brands out there. So the only way you can find out is if you try it for yourself. The good thing is most saddle brands out there will let you check out a saddle just so you can test it out, or they'll have a return policy where you can return it in a week or two and get your money back if you don't like it. There's certain saddle brands out there that have a system where you can test yourself somehow to find out the exact saddle size, the curvature, all that stuff. So they have different systems out there that you can look at, but I really cannot recommend a saddle. You're just gonna have to try for yourself. I'm about to buy a new bike for long distance roads across my town. Which bike do you suggest for first time? So this is another tough question to ask because you're going to have to try a bunch of bikes and see which one works best for you. Me personally, I love these two bikes, but that Allez is probably not the best for long distance riding. The Tarmac is suited a little bit better in terms of longer distances. There's also these two, okay, the way I would classify them is this is a Criterion bike. The Tarmac, the black bike, is a lightweight climbing all-round bike. There are bikes out there called endurance bikes, which are meant for longer distances. They're able to take the impact from harsh roads a little bit better. Like a bike that comes to my mind is the Specialized Roubaix. There's definitely other bikes out there that are more suited for endurance bikes, but that's what I would say. Maybe if you do longer distances, that's your style of riding, you're into more comfort riding, definitely look into the endurance type of road bikes. Alright, so I don't want to make this video too long. Those are just some questions that have been popping up in the past couple of weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and I plan on doing more kind of like sit down, fancy camera, specific topic type of videos. So if you guys have suggestions, you guys want certain topics covered, post them in the comment sections down below. And also if you guys have a question you guys want me to answer, post them down below and I'll answer in the next Q&A. But yeah, I have some topics coming. I have some topics planned. So definitely stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. You want to stay up to date on everything. And yeah, I definitely want to make more videos on nutrition. I've been kind of staying away from that for a little while because I've been trying to focus on some videos that are, I don't know how to say this, I guess selfishly, they're for myself. They've been things that I've been really into lately, such as cycling. But it's been a while since I made a nutrition video. I've been talking about nutrition lately in my life, so there are a lot of things that I want covered. So I definitely want to start talking about that again. So yeah, if you guys have anything regarding nutrition you guys want me to cover, let me know. And yeah, stay tuned. Definitely more videos coming.